Welcome once again to Treasures of the Torah. I'm Pastor Matt McEwen. This week, our Torah portion is Bejukotai, and there's something really cool about this Torah portion, and it actually ties into the one last week. If you'll remember, last week in Torah portion Parashat Behar, we talked about benefits, bonuses for following God's rules and laws, even though that might not be the original intent of those laws. We don't follow God's rules to be blessed, but sometimes we are blessed for following them. Now, here's a perfect example. When we talk about rain, now where I live in the state of Florida in the United States, in the summer, it rains nearly every day. And almost always in the afternoon, it will rain for 20 or 30 minutes, and then it will stop and the sun will be out, and it will be as if it never rained. But it's not like that in the land of Israel. You see, in the land of Israel, they don't get much rain, even today. And there is a rainy season in the spring and a rainy season in the fall, which is why in the Bible sometimes they are called the early rains and the latter rains, or the late rains. Now, what's really interesting is, here in this verse in Leviticus chapter 26, let me read from the Kehot Chumash. It says, "If you advance in the knowledge of my rules by studying the Torah assiduously," i.e. beyond the natural requirement, or beyond the minimum requirement, "and I make you sure to study the Torah with intent to safeguard your proper performance of my commandments, and then you indeed perform them properly," what will God do? "I will reciprocate by granting you material beneficence that exceeds the limitations of nature." Here's what it says about these rains. This is so interesting to me. "I will give you the rains in a manner most favorable to you and to your benefit and convenience." Listen to this. They will fall in their time. When it says, "I will give you the rains in their time," this particular commentary expounds on what that means. What does it mean, in their time? In other words, the time that I had designated them for them exclusively, in the nighttime, when people are not outdoors working the land, and this way you will be able to work the land day by day, not being hindered by the rain. Moreover, I will further limit the rainfall to the time most convenient for you, the Sabbath night, when no one is usually about. Miraculously, the land will yield its full produce from the rain that falls during this short weekly period. Also, miraculously, the naturally barren tree of the field will give forth its fruit. Can you imagine that? Our God is so good that He set out a precedent. If you follow my Torah, if you study my Torah in order to follow it in the best way that you can, I will bless you with these rains, and I'm going to bless you in a way that is convenient for you. How exciting is that? Listen, I would take God's blessing anytime. Doesn't matter if it's a convenient time or not. But He's going to bless people at a convenient time so that it's at night, so that people aren't working the land and they don't have to stop working because of the rain. But also, He's going to do it on the Sabbath night when no one is out working anyway. This is such the grace of our God. He's going to bless us, and He's going to doubly bless us by blessing us with a blessing that is convenient. I don't know what more we could ask for. This is why the Bible tells us to choose life, to choose life and be blessed, rather than to choose death and be cursed. God wants to give good gifts to His children, even in a time that is convenient. This is how loving and caring our benevolent God is. I want you to think about that, how God has blessed you recently in your life, and not only how He has blessed you, but how that blessing has come to you in the best manner, in the best way. It's incredible if we really begin to sit back and count our blessings. We are undeserving of how good our God is to us. Thank you once again for joining me. I'm Pastor Matt McEwen, and if you'd like to study where I study, go to shuvu.tv, where you can fill out an application for the largest Messianic Jewish yeshiva in the world, Yeshivat Shuvu. God bless you. Shabbat Shalom.